be difficult with Monsanto's line. No, never mind. Just kidding. I take that back. Was thinking that he had was thinking of a different lineup, but he does have the Charge Warrior, which can get a little awkward, but you do have some tools to kind of get there, right? With Bulwark, with just raw armor gain, and then finding your combo before Luna finds her damage. Can sometimes be this weird little dance when we're talking about the combo, where Luna has to try and guess when the combo pieces are going to be there in order to time the cloak. But we'll see if we even get to that point, because sometimes you can just get run over as the warrior.
Yeah, this rogue deck, when you very first look at it, you haven't played either deck before. I mean, everyone's played all these decks now, I'm sure. But if you haven't, it might be tempting to think that maybe the rogue just can't do enough damage. But these weapons just get large, the garottes get large, then there's plenty of other damage just thrown in there with Sinister Strikes. What's a safe number? I don't think the warrior can get there, but just a thought experiment. How much would the warrior want to win this game? 7?
It's got to be a whole heck of a lot. So, I mean, if we're talking max damage, it feels nearly impossible. You're talking about, like, you know, post scab, so you can get discounts and things that have been discounted along the way by, like, Blackwater Cutlass trades. You're looking at Guild Trader plus double Sinister Strike, which is 10, plus 2 full Garrotes with an empty deck, so you're guaranteed to draw them, which is 24 additional damage, 12 from each of those. So that's 34 damage. And then double Wicked Stab for 80, so that's 16. So that's 50. 50 damage worth of spells, plus whatever weapon damage there is.
Yeah.
So I think, like, above 58, you're safe.
All right.
Because that's a Shank with double Deadly Poison and double Paralytic Poison. So that's max.
So
okay.
Options.
Go there, Monsanto. 58. With your hand that does nothing. That's a problem, right? A lot of the cards are aimed at minions, and your opponent doesn't have any. It's a minefield.
It certainly is.
Kind of want to keep everything for later, so just press the button. What's the buckler's like? A bad cloak? Everything's gonna be a bad cloak today, I can tell. Decided.
We already have something pretty interesting to talk about. I was just double checking the list momentarily. There's a Viper in Luna's deck.
Right.
Doesn't find it. So a lot of times, you know, if you try and time the buckler in the later stages of the game to block like the maximum possible damage, it's just going to get Vipered.
Yeah.
And you're going to start from 1. So this is actually a great way to just gain health for Monsanto by playing it early. So that way the Shank, which already has poisons on it, which now Luna can't even attack into it, has like no sources of damage other than a Shank which has 1 charge and no poisons in hand to be able to continue that, right?
Yep. So already... But then she draws the Viper and the discussion is ruined. But it was still great by Monsanto to do this. Makes a lot of sense. You can see how that was going to pan out. Luna was just going to sit there doing nothing, waiting for the Viper. And now the minefield has a target. So it's not all wasted.
Minefield, I think, if it's the only removal available for it, needs to be saved for the scabs.
Sounds right, yeah.
Time is targeted, so... Do like the Bulwark from Monsanto. So... But not paying off at the moment. This is the Viper.
Well, Luna hasn't got a particularly advanced hand. She has the Cutlass. She does have the Passage, of course, but you're going to have to mess around next turn to get anything out of next turn. But Monsanto's just down to pressing the button.
Yeah. I mean, there's an argument for going like Frozen Bucklers here, but Well, you could also like save frozen bucklers.
Yeah.
When you think there's going to be a lot of damage. So if Luna's shank gets big enough, you could theoretically gain more armor from it. If Luna wants to be doing more than 5 damage in a single turn, right?
Yeah, I feel that they're like mini cloaks. Like that's what I meant earlier. Sort of you play them on the turn you think they go off, and maybe you get one extra turn to do your own combo back out of it. That's the other thing.
Yeah. Luna has found herself in a pretty awkward place here because there's double Silverleaf Poison on this weapon, and she doesn't have great cards to dump. Wicked Stab, max damage is now 54. 54, so that's the safe spot.
Yeah, easy. Playing the cloak just to dump it, I think. She's not dying this turn ever, so
Yeah, she's got another one. So the other one, she can either use it to dump again if she thinks that she can kill Monsanto fast enough, or hold it until she thinks that the combo is going to be in hand.
Monsanto's options are play Rokara or wait a long time and just get 2 armor extra.
Yeah.
So which cards shan't I play this turn? I know, nearly all of them.
I want to be a greedy boy.
Or you just want to press the button? And weapon, obviously,
Yeah.
just to put something up there.
Whatever.
I think he was trying to talk himself into exactly that play, honestly.
Because it's not as simple as, oh, well, you gain 4 extra armor. It's potentially a lot more armor because you lose your ability to just press armor up.
Yep. Yeah, so it might be 4 or 6 extra armor.
And it doesn't really... I guess it can change your combo breakpoints. The breakpoints are massive. It's in increments of 9.
Yeah.
And the first increment is 18. Because if you don't have Battle Master, wait, does he play 1 faces or 2 faces? Plays 2 faces.
2.
Okay, so yeah, it's in increments of 9. So that's 2 swings of the weapon, or a swing of the weapon plus 2 hero powers.
And he's doing a really good job of accumulating those combo pieces in the bottom of his deck. Because he hasn't drawn any yet. And he's going to be dead soon if he's not careful. And he's probably going to be dead soon if he is careful as well.
Yeah, regardless of his level of carefulness, he's going to be dead soon.
Yeah, if he's not careful. Right, and he's got no plan because there's no plan to have. Yep, another card I can't play. Do I hit you for 5 or not?
What about this? Stay with me here. What about 7 instead of 5? Oh, ooh.
Yeah, sure. Spend that mana. Yeah. Because 7 gets you the other side of the 27 to 18 health breakpoint in exactly the same way that 5 does. Okay, but another 7 would go below 18, which is a relevant situation.
Yeah.
Short version, 7.
Keep your enemies close.
0 pieces of the combo in hand currently from Monsanto.
Yep. He doubled that last turn.
Ooh, there's a card that's playable now. Rancor.
Yeah.
Actually a big deal. That's health.
Bam. Take
You're
8.
gonna burn a card? Right? This has double Silverleaf Poison on it?
Yeah, also, did that only do 3, really? Because Buckler...
Oh my god, I looked away for a second. What was burn?
I also didn't see it. Oh, no. I was looking at the deck list.
Let me look at the thing. 1 sec.
Yeah, if you look at the thing, whilst I watch the Rancor face 7U coming up. Luna down to 21. Buckler number 2, obviously getting towards the end of the game, just trying desperately to buy some time. Pretty sure I saw the card that was burned and just didn't process it at all. I just did it again. Oh my goodness.
That was prep.
I got it all.
Part of me thinks the other one might have been cutting class, but I really don't know. I can sort of just picture it floating by. It might have been a stab. A sort of sandy coloured card. I think I'd have noticed if it was Gurot. Is this it? Eight spin strikes. Lead, that's it, right? Double Sinister Strike in hand.
Yep. That's
Uh,
I'm running low on ingredients.
Also, it was Garot, right?
it must be Gurot.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. Luna's going to take game 1 with the Weapon Rogue. Honestly, that the ooze ended up being pretty big because that was going to be a lot of damage that Luna would have to sink into that with like no poisons. I think that would have been too much to come back from. Love the play from Monsanto. Potentially a game-winning play to play that Bulwark early on with that poison weapon. And you could see, I mean, Luna still had a good amount of damage, like as follow-up for the next turn, you know, with a fully upgraded stab still in hand. However, if she had not been able to destroy that Bulwark, I just don't really think that she would have had enough damage to, you know, poke with sources of damage until she drew the Rushrock Viper. Or have delayed it long enough to where Monsanto would have been able to get his armor total up to maybe a little bit better of an amount. So it is best. And honestly, like this warrior deck, the Charge Warrior, you have so many dead cards already in your deck to be able to draw. And then you have almost no sources of draw available. Cutting class is really the only thing, and then tradables with like Heavy Plate and Rushrock Viper. You're never getting anything to attack into with Outrider's Axe. So you oftentimes find yourself into these situations where you're drawing control tools against the deck where you can't really use them, and you know beyond that you're just not really doing anything. A Viper would have been great in that situation, but maybe it would have just been a delay the inevitable kind of situation.
I'm excited, TJ. I hadn't noticed this. So this is the exact list of Burn Shaman that I play.
Cool. It has a Primal Dungeoneer.
Just one Dungeoneer, one Wind Chill. Most people play 2 Wind Chills, but I've switched it for 1 Dungeoneer just because, I don't know, you tinker around with the 29, 30, 31st cards, and that's just felt better to me on average. The double Wind Chill gets a bit clunky sometimes. Big case for having double Wind Chill because it does fuel your multi-caster, etc. But sometimes you just get a handful of Wind Chills and it just gets awkward, along with the Sleep Breaker. So I actually like the 1-on-1 split, and I didn't know anyone else played it that way at the moment. So I'm excited because Monsanto quite clearly has hacked into my account and copied my deck list.
How dare he?
Absolutely. So I'm happy. I'm not happy that he's hacked into my account, but I'm happy that I seem to have the same thought process as one of the best players in the Americas region.
Nice.
Yeah. All right,
Well,
Luna on the token druid, as it has been called today.
Yep.
Well, it's spell druid sometimes.
And this matchup can get interesting. It's not quite as bad of a matchup as for the Druid as just pure Kazakhstan Druid, because you do have tokens. But sometimes they can also work against you. It just depends on where the Snowfall Guardian is in their deck. Yep. Sometimes playing Glowfly Swarm can just be a death sentence because you're giving them more damage because you cannot deal with a Snowfall Guardian.
Excuse me. Yeah, and there's landslides that quite often clear them up. I know they can be buffed, but Monsanto choosing not to keep the 1-drop, which is kind of cool against a druid. You don't really keep it, but you play it if you get it. Does that make sense? There is the snowfall, and this is where I will now be put to the test because he's got it, and I think you should play it. The 9 damage it can potentially do is so much, even though it messes up your curve. If he draws Cavern off the top, he can still coin bloom it, even though he's overloaded next turn, so not a total disaster. I like just playing this Zapper. He doesn't, though.
Wrong.
Yeah, but he'll learn. Oh, you mean I was wrong? I see.
Yeah.
This is the reason that he didn't do it. He wanted to coin out of 3, potentially trying to be greedy with the battle cry, but I think he'll save the parrot now for the Guardian.
Cold-tooth mine for lowest here.
The lowest, yes.
Yeah.
A rare event.
Sizing pouch for lightning bloom. Boom. That's a Kazamikis next turn.
Ah, it'll be fine. Yeah, so this is what Monsanto wanted at the start. It was just this extra card stuff. Now it gets interesting. With the freezing, if you're not careful, the druid, it doesn't often, it can just run out of cards. So Luna needs to pick wisely.
Ooh. That looming presence?
I don't like any of these. Try
Me
again.
either. Which one do you pick, though?
I guess the taunt. Yeah, I think she did. Crusty.
Oh, Crusty. So good for the Guardian, Snowfall Guardian.
Wow, this is a bad Kazak.
Well, banana split on a Crusty.
All right. Okay. Knife because you play against Burn Shaman. Yeah. I think Monsanto can fatigue Luna here, but he doesn't know that because he hasn't seen Luna's deck.
Yeah. I mean, it could just accidentally happen.
Yeah, I mean, when he's seen 2 or 3 cards, he might start to get the idea, oh, hang on. I now know what 6 of these cards are, and they're pretty rubbish. Maybe I can do this.
Yeah.
He did burn a parrot, though, getting the Dungeoneer off twice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There will be 6 drakes from scale, 6 whelps, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can clear everything but 1.
And kind of needs to, because this damage is accumulating in Monsanto's hand.
Actually, could clear the whole board if she goes scale, bloom, bloom, no Charmin.
Yep. But no. But yep.
You acknowledge that it's a possibility, but don't acknowledge the strength of the play. Fair.
Luna actually had a chance to win this game, but I think it would have been a terrible play because she could have just bloomed out like 5 glowflies on turn 3. And then lose a landslide every time, but Monsanto didn't have it, so yeah. I think it might have just about got there.
All right, so Monsanto does have Snowfall Guardian plus Macaw at any point. I feel like Monsanto could just get away with a wind chill here and go a little bit wider. There's actually a ton of damage. I didn't even bother.
Yeah, I've just started counting damage. You
I'm a
probably heard me
zapper.
mumble a 3, yeah.
That was 8.
8, 12. It's there, but I don't think there's the mana. He needs 18.
Well, there's 7 total mana, and it would cost 5, 6, 7, 8. It would cost 8 mana.
And the damage is 4, 8, 12. The overload would be 4, so that would be another 5. So 17?
It would be 1 off in the damage department, 1 off in the mana department.
Frost bites sharper than fangs.
Just draw an overload card next turn and hit for another 3 with a parrot, and game over.
Yep.
Foolproof plan against a deck full of completely nonsense cards.
So Krusty would be pretty big here. Could eat a minion and then lifesteal twice. Hi-ya!
Oh dear.
No way to tutor it as well. I think that means it's going to be game, because Fungal Fortunes will discard it if it's drawn.
Is there anything that she got that... Did she take the thing that gives taunt, for instance? Doesn't matter.
Let's take a look.
Oh, she could glowfly.
All right, won't do that again.
She could glowfly. She's not going to because she doesn't know that she's definitely dead. But oh, looming presence. That's some armor. I was looking at glowflies and knife, but that was nowhere near enough. I was just busy cackling at the 3 cards remaining. One of which she's already played, and another of which she's already played, and the other one she's also played. I think this expansion broke the deck tracker, TJ.
Yeah. At a certain point, it just gives up. It says, whatever.
Here's some cards, like them or not.
Yeah.
It's up to you. So she has got the 12/12 taunt, so damage not quite there yet. Monsanto has 3 freezers available. Would still have a space to play the Zapper at the end of the chain of events.
Yeah. So Monsanto knows that that's the last Krusty. The other one was discarded. Knows that it's the injection. I don't know. The taunt treasure.
Yeah.
And knows that at least 2 of the other treasures are not powerful enough to deal with like this board anyway. Oh, knows looming presence as well.
Yeah.
So can pretty safely just say, all right, Snowfall Guardian, let's rock and roll.
Yeah, and Luna's actually going to start taking fatigue soon.
Yeah. So the last 2 cards are the second Banana Split and the second Mutating Injection. Is that what you said?
You said it and I agreed because I have no idea what it's called. So I just agreed. So then if you're right, I look good. And if you're wrong, I go down with you on different ships.
Cool.
The ones that have sailed.
Both of them simultaneously.
Yeah. This was a tough decision, but she could actually take damage from the board if she didn't do it, so...
And Monsanto can just do it again.
Uh-huh. That's probably a cycle.
Yeah. Having 2 overdrafts in your hand is pretty useless.
You say that. He's quite close to lethal. If he had more spell damage, which he hasn't, then the second one is just a bit of chip damage sometimes. But yeah, I think he needs to cycle it. And I think he needs to play Landslide, just get it out of his hand, but he probably doesn't want to kill the Whelp because just jamming up board space in case there's locusts and things is a thing.
There's only 1 treasure that he has not seen. He saw Krusty, he saw Looming Presence, he saw Mutating Injection, and he saw Banana Split.
Yes. But there's quite a few things that do go wide on the board, right, with Boom Bots and Locusts and Horn of Annoyance. So next turn, I imagine Monsanto will dump cheap cards from his hand and play the multicaster and the parrot. Not in that order, hopefully. Might bump one or two of his minions off the board just to get board space in case he gets the studies.
I think he's gonna freeze with the macaw again.
That's what I think, but I think he'll dump some stuff, like maybe the landslide, maybe draw some cards with the multitask and try and get the turn after lethal. Because he used the other macaw really early on.
Unless he wants to try and, I guess it'd be too difficult to push minion damage through, right?
I think
It's
so.
good, but it's not that good.
Yeah, I think in the world where he gets enough help to landslide it all away, he probably gets enough help to just win the game anyway.
Yeah. He's got 2 turns to find lethal.
Yeah, or he loses.
Yeah.
Most probably.
Now minion damage is never getting through.
Luna's taking 3 in fatigue in that time as well, worth noticing.
Yep, true. Brucon is, well,
Another
you
6.
can call and unload damage this turn. He just doesn't know the last treasure. He knows whatever it is, there's 2 of it, and there hasn't been an opportunity to cast it up until this point.
I think that means it doesn't matter, because if you freeze, there's not a chance to cast it. So I think maybe the play is Macaw to freeze, Bloom, Brucan for 6 damage, trade away one of your minions or 2 of them to make a space on the board for yourself. And then the turn after, there is spell damage guaranteed. 1, 2, 3 damage spells is 12. That's 18. 3 points of fatigue over 2 turns. That's 21. I think it's Brucan, but I can't. My brain can't do it.
I think you're right. You can also get the damage hero power again.
Yes, and then you just win on the spot. Yeah. Ooh,
Wait,
I don't want that one.
I can always trade. Can always trade it in.
Sure, okay.
Can create a ton of board space, actually.
And also, I missed a point of fatigue, but I also missed a point of healing, or a point of armor, so it's the same thing. She actually takes 3 fatigue next turn. Or 8, 12. 4, 8, 12. 2 points of overload, so that's 3 more, that's 15, plus 3 fatigue is 18. Monsanto might need to find 1 more point of damage. Or I need to count better.
All right, let's.
No, there's 3 overload. It's gone, do it. I think it's exact.
There's 3 overload. There's more than that because he's overloaded this turn with the lightning bloom that he
There's
cast.
5 overload, so it's easy.
Yeah.
And there's enough mana? Yes, there is. 1 + 1 + 1. Yeah, get in there quick. 2 and 3.
Yep.
4, 8, 12, plus a lot.
Yep. Certainly enough.
It goes to 1 game each.
Yeah. And could have been some better treasures there, obviously.
Yeah, but that's the chance you take with this deck. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. One of the reasons this deck's a little bit mediocre at times is the combination that you might not get your ramp and you might not get a good deck, even though both of those 2 things are quite likely not to happen.
Yeah.
Like individually. And there's an example of it. Sometimes you just get garbage treasures and lose. 1-1. It's a close one in progress. I like.
He's gone.
He's gone. He's done his job for the day. He's won a game of Hearthstone. It's all he wants to do every day of his life. He wakes up in the morning, Monsanto, puts on his hat. He's like, today, I'm going to win a game of Hearthstone. And when that's done, I'm out of here.
Sometimes it takes 1 game.
Yep.
Sometimes it takes 10 games. Sometimes he's playing Hearthstone for 5 minutes. Sometimes he's playing Hearthstone for 4 hours. One thing stays the same. You win the game of Hearthstone.
Yeah, every day. For his whole life.
The hat can change, right? I'm pretty sure that's an adage as well. Hats can change, but games of Hearthstone are forever. I believe that's the adage.
That might have come from the warrior mirror meta.
Yeah. It certainly did.
Where you had to change your hat because you got so sweaty after the 3 hours of one game of warrior mirrors. There we go. He's gone. So, where do you think he's gone? Wrong answers only.
To jam a few riffs on his guitar.
All right.
In between Grandmasters games, he just walks out, grabs his guitar, 30 seconds, just jams whatever comes to his brain, and then walks back. That's it.
That's it.
Actually, no. He wins a game of Hearthstone, walks to his closet, grabs another hat that's identical to the hat that he's wearing. Just has like
He's got
12 of the same hat, and just rotates through. Always a fresh hat for another game of Hearthstone. And then comes back, says, I'll play Beast Druid next. And there it is.
Yep, not a deck we see that much of in Grandmasters this week. Mainly because there's so many other druids that maybe are better focused on the meta that we have in hand. But pretty powerful deck, but always feels a little bit clunky to me when I've played this.
It can be clunky, but at times, like, it's got a bunch of different synergies going on, where you have like wide boards with composting and arbor up. You have like potential for really early big minions with owls and matriarchs, and sometimes they don't get pieced together.
Yes, I guess that's what I mean. That's what I mean by clunky is.
But sometimes you don't even need to piece them together because you can keep reloading the board. Like regardless of what you're reloading the board with, as long as you keep reloading the board, eventually you're going to hit one of those payoff cards. That's kind of what I was getting at.
I'm on board with that. That was that's what I would call clunky. That's what you call finding a way to win anyway. I think they're the same thing. Luna has got Fell Demon Hunter in her arsenal today. And here it is. Glide. There you go. That's the deck. Not particularly good Glide against more aggressive decks, though. So, interested to see what she does with this.
This is like quest completion with this hand. However, oftentimes not like this main goal of the deck, at least when you're facing something a little bit aggressive. You just want to survive.
Yeah.
But still drawing you cards and reducing them. So you can think of quest completion as just a step to get to those anti-aggro cards. Monsanto, honestly, not that terrible of an opener. This matriarch going to be able to come down fast. Thorngore Sentries, they are beasts. May not look like it at first, but if you look real closely, they're like turtles with fangs
Are they?
and beards. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought they were like some sort of seaweed or something.
Yeah. Nope. Turtles with fangs and a beard. Pretty cool. That automatically reduces matriarch by 1. Adorable Infestation is another a 2 if you're playing the cub alongside it. So it can come down pretty early.
Where's Language Hacker when we need him? Double need for greed from that Spectral. Imagine the response.
Ooh. You just go overgrowth.
I wonder if you could guess the weight, actually.
Monsanto's going to nourish 100%.
Yeah, well, because yeah. Of course he is.
Why would you draw potentially 2 cards if you could always draw 3 cards. Huh?
Why would you gain 2 mana crystals if you could gain 2 mana crystals and draw 3 cards?
Why would you do any of that if you could just win $500 and gain a point?
That's a good point. Actually, it's not a good point because all points are equal.
Yeah, because it's 1
It's an average point.
per win. All right.
So this is the part of the deck I don't think is good in Beast Druid. Like, this is what feels clunky. You've done loads of things and you're doing no damage.
Yeah,
Obviously, the power.
but these are just
is now
things
to
that
come.
activate your later things. And
Yes.
it's like, I don't know. What's a good analogy here? I'm struggling with analogies today. There's an
It's
adage.
like when you
I
get
can't
a.
remember the adage.
You want cash, but you've got
Okay.
to have a cash point card to get your cash because all the banks are closed and the shops won't take the card. You've got to go to a cash machine. So the card is the turtles and the machine is the mana. And then the money that comes out of the machine is the matriarch.
That was good, but I feel like we should stick to the ship theme.
All right,
Play the game
so
You play the game Battleships?
I haven't. Yes, I have. Yes, of course I have.
Yeah. It's like playing Battleship.
Okay.
And every turn, you're by playing minions, you're firing your shot at your opponent's battleship.
Okay.
The matriarch, okay, is when you play the matriarch. That's when you get 1 hit on the battleship,
Okay.
and then the composting is the second 2 hits, and the arbor up is when you sink your opponent's battleship.
You sank my battleship.
Yep.
Okay. That seems reasonable, TJ. I can't find any holes in that analogy at all. I think it's quite a good analogy. I think it was better than my cash point analogy. I'll put that away and never to be seen again. Unless I need $500 or a point, in which case I might whip it out.
One thing I want to point out, it's pretty rare that you complete Kurtrus on 4 with this deck.
Yes.
You need to really hit all the draw, which Luda did. That comes with the downside of, well, if you're hitting all the draw, it means you're not really removing stuff. She's been able to remove some things, but not everything. So, oh, here we go.
Getting set up.
Here we go. That's 2 hits on the battleship.
Uh-huh.
Now it just has to guess where the final hit's going to be. And by that, I mean draw arbor up.
5. D5.
Too many cards in hand.
Let's go with the 5D chess that he's playing.
Let's see.
Yeah, crucial turn here from Luna.
2 separate Kurtruses that both cost 5 mana. One that can clear some stuff off the board, one that cannot, but is larger. Therodon, not an option, because it wouldn't summon the 3rd warder, which means it would be dormant forever.
So Luna's kind of relying on the need for greed doing its
That's
thing
lethal.
here.
4 times 5, 20.
Correct. 2-1 Monsanto.
Yeah, that's a tough situation for Luna. Could have guessed that was going to happen, though. Actually knew that was... She had all the information.
Yeah. I think
Because both Jerry Carpenters were played. And whether it was... And saw the first half of one of them and saw the full half of the next one. Right?
Yep, I think you're right. Makes sense. It works.
Oh, no, never mind.
But
Oh, yeah. Those are the only choose one spells, right? Am I crazy?
let me check now.
Yeah, it's just Power of the Wild and Sow the Soil.
It is just the 2.
And he played the tree from
Oh,
Sow
and
the Soil, so she knew there was +1 attack. And then the previous turn, he played the other tree from Sow the Soil. So she knew that the last Choose One spell had to have been Power of the Wild. So it's 20 damage showing.
okay.
I must protect the wild.
So
Tough situation regardless. Because
Back to
there
the
wasn't a
warrior.
meaningful way for her to actually like clean up any of that board except for Kurtrus. Other Kurtrus.
yeah,
Drawn Monsanto more cards, which then she would have been faced with the exact same situation she was in the previous turn. But would have had
yeah,
a
because they
card.
probably actually one of them would have stuck, right? So, but I think she wanted to
I don't
get a need for greed with reduced stuff and maybe clear a whole load of stuff in one go rather than pick at things one at a time that wasn't really helping her. If she does get a need for greed, reduces some immolations or something, I think she probably has a chance of getting in the game at that point.
Yep.
Need more than the immediate stuff is what I'm trying to say, in a very convoluted way.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to agree with that part. All right.
Moonlit Guidance into Moonlit Guidance.
What happens if you get a third one?
Oh, wow.
The glow flies
She
into...
had to play the first one. There's only one in the deck. This is actually could be an awkward situation for Monsanto because Luna's got the goods with Glowfly into Arbor Up into Solar Arbor Up. And currently Monsanto just does not have a way to deal with it. Has Lord Barra, but by itself doesn't do anything. Yeah, Guff's good on 5, but I think I'm fishing for something juicy. Is that a Rancor? Oh my god, it's a one-of! Get out of here.
Bit of a difference
Get
between taking all
Out
that
of here,
damage
you sly dog.
or killing everything and gaining 8 armor. What a difference. That's unfair. That's all because he didn't go for a break after this game. He went straight into this. Should have expected it.
He didn't get a fresh hat.
Nope. This one's working well.
Is that a Blade Storm? Oh, it's a heavy plate. That's cutting class, though.
All right, so
Okay.
Gale next turn in an attempt to stick something and then just go Arbor upping every turn with Solars, or do you just want to go straight into Solar Arbor as the choices?
I think you can fish a little bit with the scale.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
This must be the way.
Monsanto now has a way to deal with a full board with the Shield Slam pickup, so... Pride's Fury?
Yep, she's kind of all in on this plan. It's been going this way for a while, right? So just go for it.
Partner assignment? Sick! Nourish.
It's a restart once the Monsanto's killed your 4 boards over the next 4 turns.
Well, you can get Zixor. But then by the time you probably draw Kazakhstan before that, before it dies, and then you're going to play it, destroy it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Drawing cards is good. All right, what do you want to do?
I want to poke with the scale, personally.
That rope's burning again.
Actually, I think I want a Solar Arbor. Because she's got double Arbor next turn. And Solar Arbor is... Whoa, okay. Never mind.
She just wants 14 mana. So she can just play everything. For the
Triple Arbor up next turn.
Yeah. Oh, she could draw 1 million cards and still have 9 health, 9 mana left over, and then decide what she wants to do when she's seen those cards. Because if she can save the Arbor ups until she's got the Kazakhstan cards, imagine Arbor up on Boombots or Locusts or
Yeah, I think she wanted to be able to nourish and then find either Cold Tooth Mine or Kazakhstan to be able to play
Yep.
it this turn. Yeah, that makes sense. It's better than what we were suggesting.
Yeah, she's just got this win condition now on a stick. She's going to go for all the wide board cards, and every turn is a threat.
Yeah. What are those?
A Neuer horn with
horn.
all this buff, yeah? Or boombots. Oh, that's a lot.
It's got to be a Noya horn. I don't know.
I'm going through the same thought process, TJ. I wanted the Neuer horn, then it's like, I don't know.
Spyglass. Build your own combo.
Now the boombots that she didn't.
Blue bots. Okay. This is with her hand. This is a very good
Yep.
Kazakhstan.
Seems to be what she was
Do a
playing
combo
for.
check. Still missing a good chunk. As faceless and one to the front. So we're a ways away
Yeah.
here.
Removal check. One brawl. Not a lot else.
I kind of
Maybe
want a
there's-
minefield. Outriders X. Draw a card.
Take 8.
What do you think?
Actually, quite like that. Because you've got to get this combo soon. You've got probably 3 turns to live, you can estimate. I know that's a total shot in the dark, but I like it.
You got more than that because he's got board clears. Got one.
Oh, yeah, but they're kind of not turns, right? If you both do nothing. I guess it helps the warrior if you both do nothing. So, yeah, they are turns.
Yeah.
Give you that.
Yeah, I like this. I like this. Oh, yeah.
Scale jars.
Let's draw a card first. Which scales?
So much names
This-
swapping over.
The staff
Stuffs and scales and jars.
or the Ovenixia?
Understood. Does she even need to shoot her own minion here? No, I didn't think she did. Because she's got so much buff going on.
The Rancor's gone.
Monsanto's going to have to do the job for you because you're going to just win with triple Arbor up anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah. So Monsanto could go. No. None of this is good. Yeah, taking 8 last turn, actually rough because it severely limits the ability to do anything here. See how big this one is? Yeah, that's big.
That's big, yeah. Okay. What about this one? Is this big?
Big as this one. This one big?
Might be big. Nope,
Not
not
frozen buckler?
How about now?
It is a frozen buckler. All right, that makes things a little easier.
Clear all these up. See how many of them become big. Yes, no, very no.
Small.
Large.
Small. Kind of
Pretty
small.
bad overall.
Huh.
Got him. I didn't think he was going to, but that's wiped out his hand. Apart from Barov Brawl. He's okay. All right, do it again.
Got 18 mana.
No, right. Draw another card and play it if it's a jar.
Gotta dump a card, though.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you can probably part ways with one of these buffs.
This Lightning Bloom's starting to look a bit sad as well. What do I really need 21 mana for in a turn? 19's fine. All right, next part of the combo's in hand.
Doesn't matter. I don't think he can win.
You don't?
Unless Anoia Horn is the last card. his last brawl. He has no shield shatters. It would have from an oil horn would have to be literally all 4 health minions, and then have Blade Storm in order to be able to clear.
Oh, here we go. I love this sinking feeling you get when you're playing this deck. Well, I've got 19 mana, but why? What's it all for? I mean, if anyone can get Raven, by the way, he's never seen 20 mana. So if somebody could go and wake him up.
We haven't seen him on a competitive broadcast yet, I don't think. I've seen it plenty of times playing.
Is Monsanto going to concede, or is he going to let us see the 20 mana? I think he's going to let us see it because he doesn't know for sure that Luna has it, even though she's kind of telegraphed it in the last few turns.
Yeah. Sure. It's either game over or it's not right now. Like,
Yep. Come on, Monsanto, let us see the 20 mana, please. We've never seen what it looks like. On the official America's Grandmasters broadcast of 2022 Season 1, first half, Week 1.
oh, that's a clear. You have to go Barav and then attack into the horn.
Into the one that isn't shielded.
No force on Azeroth can stop me.
All right, well, he's dead.
That was a clear, right?
It was a clear, yeah. You Barav, then you Bulwark and attack into the one
Yeah.
without Divine Shield, and then Blade Storm.
Yeah. Luna, 1 million damage and 20 mana showing up to show us what it looks like. Levels the scores 2 apiece. Huge game 5 coming up.
Maybe he's, I don't know, maybe he's thinking if he clears, then he doesn't have removal for whatever could come next, but that's the last Anoil Horn. And, like, he was pretty close to he wasn't pretty close to combo. Like, he still needed two pieces in order to get the full amount of damage.
I feel it was more likely that Luna didn't have another wide board than it was that she didn't have some arbor ups or buffs.
Yeah.
I think you're quite often dead the way that Monsanto went about it, but sometimes I feel you might get away with it the other way. Very rarely, because Guff's drawing a card every time.
Yeah, tough situation. That was basically his final clear, and he knew that if there was any reload, there was no way to deal with it. And so if he could survive like 1 turn, it gave him 2 extra draws. I don't know. Tough situation regardless for Monsanto, but it's going to come down to the Demon Hunter versus Charge Warrior. The Quest Fell Demon Hunter versus Charge Warrior. And this one can get real weird.
Yeah.
A lot of turns where nobody's really doing anything.
Yeah, you said that yesterday. I'm like, that won't get weird. And then a few weird turns later, like, what's happening? Yeah. Neither player sort of gets a plan, right? They try and avoid losing rather than try to win for most of the game.
Well, Monsanto has a plan.
He has a plan. It's draw his cards, all of them. But he doesn't have that much card draw. And Luna has a lot of card draw, but no plan.
Yep. They're like opposites. If the decks could only fuse together, imagine the possibilities.
Wow. A big deal compared to yesterday's matchup, though, is there's no Mutinous for Monsanto.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be able to get sort of a monster Mutinous, followed by kill you a Mutinous, followed by hit your opponent for 16 once, that sort of thing. He's going to have to do it the only way this deck can do it, with the full combo. So it is up to Luna to at some point apply pressure. Can do that with fell spells and Jace, just because all the fell spells will go face because there's nothing in the way to stop them. So it's a weird sort of race, but you've got to sort of dance while you're racing at the same time.
So this is the hand that can get there sometimes. It's just you just
Yes.
draw your burn and then you Jace on curve.
Yeah, so wait until at least turn 5 for the Fury, so they're level 2. Fell Barrage whenever you want. Need for Greed on turn 5. Turn 6, play everything else that I didn't just say. Hello, just play them. Right?
What else are you gonna do? You can wait for Talented Arcanist.
You can. I think the question is which one do you play, not do you play. Yeah. Making space for more stuff. Yeah, so next turn is Need for Greed, then the turn after is all the janky stuff that's left over. They're both firing at imaginary minions on the board. Immolation or you? No, really, minefield you. Go away, Deadeye, we don't want you this game. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, you know your series is next.
Oh, there's the Arcanist.
Yep.
Is there any way she ever sticks a Magthodon? We can see there's not because there's a Blade Storm in hand.
Dex just doesn't do anything.
It's a series of random cards. It's amazing. But at the top, the other deck doesn't do anything either for at least, like, forever. Because with so many combo pieces, it's always going to be one of the bottom 3 or 4 cards. Remember, Elise. You just had to wait.
Yeah. All right. So Talented Arcanist, Fell Barrage, Flurry.
Fury.
That's 8. Fury. Yeah, sorry. Added an L in there for no reason whatsoever. That's 6, 14, 15 with a hero power. And then the Jace next turn would be 8 plus 6, 14.
Yeah.
And, that could just be game. Like,
What a sad game of Hearthstone that would be, but Luna has planned this since turn 2 or 3. Like, we mapped this out reasonably well, came to the same conclusions. And what can
Monsanto needs
Monsanto do?
armor gain. He needs to get out of fort range of 14. Heavy plate. There it is. It'd be so awkward if you just traded it away. Monsanto's like, yes, please.
He was
Well, no,
gathering
'cause
combo.
it still sets him back.
Yeah. Jace is back. The Viper is also back. Viper's quite important because somewhere there is a bulwark. But is Luna out of... Oh, no, this Chaos Strike is another damaging card, I guess.
Yeah, Chaos Strike.
And then she has to manufacture damage from somewhere.
Yep.
Okay. This warrior deck's lack of draw, or relative lack of draw, is quite weird, isn't it, for a deck that doesn't do anything?
Yeah, I mean, it's got Corsair Cash, Outrider's Axe, Cutting Class, Tradables. Like, the draw exists. It just doesn't work against every deck, really.
That's fair, yeah, because of the axe shenanigans.
Yeah.
They will never catch me.
More cards. for both players. And Kurtrus. Okay.
Well, like there's with this Demon Hunter deck, there's just not like a huge payoff.
Right.
Right?
But all the cards I don't want now cost less. Great. I still don't want them.
Yeah.
And Monsanto can win from hand in the future, so he never has to leave a minion up for Luna to be able to expendable into.
Yeah. And can deal with just about everything. All right, so this is 16 damage now for Jace. 2 rank 2 Furies, 2 Fell Barrages, 8 plus 6, so it's 14. Chaos Strike is 16. A Hero Power would be 17.
Amidst the flames.
So she's gonna unload it now.
Yeah, she's making sure she does damage to her Kurtrus as well. Quite sure why, but
Her Jace.
sorry, her Jace. They're all green. They all kind of similar. This is my brain up. All right, where's your 10?
All right, yeah, Rancor. That's as good as it's gonna get.
Yeah. Fair.
Actually, no. At a certain point, I think Luna will have to play expendable performers, so I think you hold it until then. I guess you could just Minefield, but then you're worried about Kurtrus, and how do you deal with Kurtrus? Okay, yeah, you have Shield Shatter. So I think this would be Minefield. Shield Shatter would be for the... Oh. I guess Brawl for the expendable performers. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe Monsanto's rating the 2 immediate armor because he knows he's out of the woods fairly soon. If
Yeah.
as long as nothing accidents happen. I can't see where Luna gets damage from now. Am I missing something?
Yeah. I don't think so.
Like as long as Monsanto doesn't, have an accident and leave a minion on the board.
Whoa. Magtheridon. Okay, there's Magtheridon.
Oh, hang on. There we go. Then that's where the damage comes from. I remember now. That's lethal.
I have given up everything.
Might be not this turn, but as soon as the counting is done.
5. Then there's 2 attacks, so it's 6, 7, 8, 9. It's not lethal, but it's
It is next turn.
yeah.
How much is it next turn? 28? 26.
Yep. That's lethal.
Aim for the wheels.
Yeah, second Monsanto sees it, he just gives it up. He had the choice to play the ball up, but waited a turn, and Luna gets it done with the Magtheridon, which is the
I just
key part of
imagine
that
a
combo.
Magtheridon being played earlier in that game. What the heck?
So did I, actually. I genuinely did. I thought it had gone. I think Luna had it, and
It got
glided it away? Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Both made the same error. Yes. I thought it had gone for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that's there. If you don't play Magtheridon early, right? We've seen a lot of players play Magtheridon for like tempo, but against this warrior deck, they have so many ways of removing it. You can always save it for the win condition because it's going to take the warrior so much time to actually get there. It's not infinite damage, but it's a lot because you can almost guarantee post Kurtrus that you can get enough mana to be able to play Deadeye plus Magtheridon plus expendable performers in order to have the number of attacks that you need. Sometimes, like in that situation, it can even be lethal with just Kurtrus plus Magtheridon, because you give yourself 2 minions to attack into, so it can be an extra 6 damage if you're playing it the same turn, because you hero power first, then attack hero